I was born in a trap house is my running joke that I like to make about the way I was conceived in a very transactional way. But y'all, I was waking and baking inside the belly. Everything from the C word to the H word to alcohol and everything in between. It is nothing but God that I was born with no major birth defects or anything wrong with me. My mom married my father when I was 2 years old. He adopted me. They had a son, so I have a brother. It's just the two of us. And everything was pretty normal until about the age of 8 years old, and that's when shit hit the fan. My mom and dad divorced. My brother stays with my dad, but my mom takes me with her. Now, here's something that I didn't realize when I was a kid that I realize now. This whole time, I was very curious as to why my brother was able to stay in the very stable situation, like a home. The bills never got turned off over there. My father had a very stable job, just very normal, It was still in the hood, so it wasn't rich, but it wasn't poor, if you know what I mean. So I never really understood why he got to stay in that situation when I was then, I don't even know what to say, like on the run with my mom. I was in trap house to trap house to trap house with my mom. Like I was in the trenches with her. But now as an adult, I realize what happened. Remember, I am not my father's biological daughter, but my brother is. And so I would imagine, this is how I feel like it played out when they were getting divorced. She was like, I'm taking my kids with me. You know how it goes. I'm taking my kids. And he was like, no, the hell you're not taking these kids. The kids are staying with me. And then she probably said, well, I'm taking Ebony because you know what? She's not even your biological. I don't know. I don't know if she said that, but I'm guessing that's how she was able to get me, but not my brother. So for the next few years, we bounced around from family member to family member. And I didn't understand at the time why we had to just go to so many different places. But now I'm pretty sure it was because she didn't stop using. And that was probably one of the stipulations. But if anybody has dealt with that or had a family member who had to deal with addiction, no matter how much you want to stop using, it is not that easy. Now I'm about 10 years old. We are living with my aunt and my uncle. And as I'm asleep one night, my mom and I slept in the same room. And out of nowhere, I am awakened to a flashing light hitting the wall. I mean, lighting up that entire wall. It looked like it was daytime. And I turned around and I saw my mother smoking rack. Now, remember in the other episode when I said I know what rack smells like? Not only do I know what it smells like, I will never be able to erase that bubbling, crackling sound when the lighter hits the pipe. That is a sound I wish I had never heard in my life, and I really wish there was a way I can remove that sound from my memory, but I can't. When I asked my mom why she was smoking rack, she tried to downplay it and say, no, I am smoking Mary Jane, and I combated her. Mind you, I was 10 years old. I said, no, this is not that. I know what that is, and I know what this is, and this is not that, okay? So if you need to get better, you have to stop doing that. I was 10 years old, and this is when she went to rehab. And when a person goes to rehab, it's not just a one and done. And for her, in her case, it was a lot of in and out, in and out, in and out. I was living with an aunt, and pretty much as soon as I got home from school every day, she went to work. You know how we say like the 70s and 80s babies, we always say we raised ourselves? This is what we mean. We would get home from school, our parents or our caregiver had to go to work, and we'd be in the house the whole entire time by ourselves until like maybe 10 or 11. Like, I think it would actually be illegal to do that to this day, but that's how we were raised back then. But I remember on the day she was about to go to work and she had a little talk with me and she said, listen, when I leave the house, if your mother tries to come over, you cannot open the door for her. So imagine telling a 10-year-old child that when their mother comes to the house, you cannot open the door. That's what I was told. And lo and behold, as soon as my aunt left for work, pop, 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 my mom was at the door.